excited to have you. Project will take over is teaming up with Project Futures to really create a project management playground. What we really want to do is essentially have a platform where we can basically provide a lot of these opportunities for you to get work experience in different projects, to then have it as addition to your CV, to make it also easier to articulate yourself in interviews, because essentially, it's really hard to provide examples when you just don't understand what's going on in the project, and free to make you basically grow your confidence that you can do the role, the role. If you want to go for it, you can basically do it. So that is basically the main goal of this onboarding session. Related to the onboarding session, want to introduce you the idea. 2, this is going to be like a pilot. We want to see how it works. So when we're building the big thing, we see from your perspective what you found useful, what you didn't find useful. We want to see what structure you found useful, what you didn't find useful. So we're calling it a pilot. Essentially, in project management, a pilot is like a trial. We're going to test it in real life environment and learn from it. Right now, I work with, actually, we've done pilots in 35 offices across the UK to really see the lessons learned, what problems aroused, what worked well, what didn't work well, to prepare once we actually have to deploy the whole of UK, all the units. We basically got a plan in place. So this is going to be the same aspect, basically, just really seeing how it's working. So this is not all nailed down, so there's definitely going to be room of improvement. So I would love for everyone to really, as we go through this, if you like something, really let me know, so then I can know it to really include it. If you don't like something, also let me know. We also all got different brains. I got ADHD. My brain thinks very differently to neurodivergence. So if you feel like something didn't work, don't feel free to communicate it, because that's another thing I'm trying to do with Project Takeover, essentially, is really create, let's say, opportunities for all different brains, right? Because I struggled at university a lot, because with ADHD, we just don't focus the same a neurotypical brain does. So I want to know about everything. And just because it didn't work for you, it doesn't mean it might not work for no one else. But I just want to learn and think. If you also think you are neurodivergent, I would love to know that when you're providing your feedback. So let's say from my perspective, I'm really good at, because I'm ADHD, it's like I know what works for ADHD brain. So now I can take my tips and, if someone else with ADHD joins, I can send it that way. Whereas if you have something, also let me know. Does that make sense? So I guess, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions on the actual idea? Is it clear why we've created it? Is it clear what we want to achieve with it?
Yeah, it's clear. I love the idea. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. So I guess what we'll do is, due to the time, maybe if you want to, I know people have been introducing themselves in the group chat. If you want to pop like a little bit of a message for everyone to know what you're doing, why you joined, please feel free to do that in the chat. And even the other day, I saw some people got connected with each other and stuff, because they had like similar industries and stuff, So remember also, throughout this, your network is your strongest thing. Being around people who are basically in the same situation as you makes it always easier, because you're not going through it alone. To learn from each other, that we all got different paths, different journeys. We all got something to learn from each other. Someone doesn't have to be more senior than you for you to learn from them. That's one bad thing that in the industry people do. They think they can only learn from senior people. No, we all got amazing skills. We all got amazing journeys. We all got amazing adventures that we came from, and we're blessed in different ways. So really utilize each other. And actually, the reason I got my current role is because someone else that I knew was going for the same role, he already secured a job. So he recommended me to go for the interview, because the recruiter knew him. She trusted his word, because he knew his value, my value. I mean, he knew he could recommend me at like peace. So your networking is a strong thing, and it'll provide you a lot of opportunities. Where I am currently on my project management journey, when I left work, they basically said I should be happy, because where it's taken me to get in like 3 years, it takes people 15 years to get there. So, and I've only done that because I've utilized people around me. So if I meet someone that's really good at project management, at risk planning, I'm sitting in a session, I want to see how you do it. So really support each other, really stick the unit together. It's not a competition. Everyone's journeys are different. It's like together we're stronger than one. So I really want to emphasize that. And the more you'll see, the more you utilize each other, the more you grow, the more you keep each other accountable, the more, and even with this work experience, the main goal is we will have weekly sessions to align. But the way real projects work is we call them working groups. So once a week or once a month, we have a session where you come and provide a status report. But throughout the week, you guys should basically be aligning together as a team on certain things. So we're not going to make it mandatory at the start. I'm going to see how you do it from your own back. And I guess it will be like a nice lesson learned as well. Because essentially in project management, you cannot do nothing by yourself. It's always a team. And that's your biggest key in project management: communication and being a nice person, like someone that like people want to know they can come to, will get you really far. So that's what I want to start with. Community aspect. So yeah, so just as well, just quickly. So my name's Giedre. I'm from Project Takeover. We're doing this with Project Futures. Gerald is actually hasn't been able to join us today. So I'll make sure he is here next session to say hello. But yeah, we just really came together to take over the world. And again, people would say, like, you know, he's got his own community, I got my own community, and you're not scared. Again, together we're stronger than one. So it's not competition, because his community is amazing, my community is amazing. Some of people might prefer my community, some people might prefer his community, some people love both communities. It's not a competition because, well, he's not Beyonce. That's what people call me. He's not Beyonce. Okay, so then I also tend to speak really fast. So if you feel like I'm whizzing through stuff, please hold me up, just let me know. So then, since no one's got any questions, I really thought, why don't I go straight to action? So the first session that we're doing today is I want to cover project life cycles and business case. So essentially, like I said, you're joining the project in the first stage of project management, which is initiation. So what I would love to do today is go through the different phases to make you aware, and then we kind of start initiating this project and what it is and what we want to achieve by the end. With a business case, I would want you guys to basically have a stab at establishing the business case from this week to next week. Again, I don't know if you guys want to do it into groups, if you guys want to do it individually. So I'll leave that for you to coordinate, but I want you to basically see how business case works in real life. So again, you can do it individually, coordinate with people, or if you want to divide things, because what happens in project management actually, in terms of, let's say, a lot of the stuff, for different parts of the business case, we would need to speak to different people. So you guys could also basically allocate different parts to each other. So I don't want to micromanage, so we're going to see how it goes. And I'll take your feedback if you do think I should allocate you with a buddy or something like that. Hey, Abigail. Hey.
Hey, you're right.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I just had a question. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I just had a question. So I was just wondering, would it be like we're actually on a project, so you actually give us a business case, and then will we have like developers? What kind of project are we working on?
Yeah.
I've had, or maybe I've missed it.
Yeah. Okay, so essentially with the business case, I'm not going to give you a completed business case, because as a project management professional, what you really need to go is basically at the start of the financial year complete it. So I'll give you the templates, and I want people to just have a stab. It doesn't have to be nothing crazy detailed. It's just to kind of know what business case means. Essentially, business case shows why we're spending all this money for a project. Another thing with this business case, actually, like you said, Gerald is paying basically for developers. So we do have developers ready to go and take this project to the application. But right now in this phase, we basically really need to find out what we want to put into the application. So we will have basically developers and stuff like that working with you guys to really for you to go and transfer the vision from thoughts to what the platform should look like. But right now it's like sort of the initiation thing. So what do we want the platform to provide? Who is the platform for? What will it look like? And in project management, we call that requirements gathering. So you gather all the requirements of what you want your project to achieve. So yeah, so we're basically going to focus on that project and take you guys through a life cycle of, let's say, the whole from the start to be the beginning. So that's sort of the real life project that you guys have. If you feel like you don't like this whole application thing and you would prefer like marketing projects, organizing events, partnerships, like establishing partnerships and stuff like that, there is additional projects that we can let you get involved in our communities. So do let me know if you feel like this is not tickling your fancy and you would love to do like a different project. Also let me know because yeah, so this is the project overview. I feel like I waffled a little bit in there. Did I even answer your question, Abigail?
No, you did. No, definitely you did. Yeah, I just want to know like who we working with. I'm guessing that you and did you say Gerald would be basically the stakeholders?
Yeah,
Basically. Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, I just want to get an idea.
Yeah, so it'll be me. In project management, there's this role called project sponsor, and they basically are the people that just kind of give you money and then appear in and out. I feel like Gerald is already giving a little bit of that because essentially, like, one, he will be funding a lot of the stuff. Two, you see, he's not here, like a real project sponsor. He is not here. So I guess he will be, let's say, the project sponsor. I will call myself, I don't know. I'll call myself, let's say, the portfolio director, right? That's another thing in project management. There's projects. Those projects make up programs. Those programs make up portfolios. So usually you can have like a portfolio of many projects that link to the like a one aim. So also that's another thing as well. So let's say we'll call me like the top portfolio director. The software developers will basically be like your SMEs. Also, you working with each other, that's your team, right? We're gonna see how it goes. There is different roles in project management. So one, if you do have a specific role that you're really interested in, let me know and we can basically make sure to allocate you on that and kind of make sure you're doing those things. Yeah, and the way I'm even thinking with this, so right now, how many people? Right now, there's 26 people. I'm gonna probably do a few more onboarding sessions. So the deal is also to basically see who's really proactive, so we can kind of count off them to, let's say, be like the main project manager, and then they kind of support the team as well. So we'll see with the structure how we put it in place. But I really want to empower you guys to really make a lot of decisions. I want to empower you to really have sort of an input into this because essentially when you are going for your interviews or, if you just wanting to build your confidence and like it allows you to experience like a real life project. That's the goal. Hey, Afyok, did I say it right? Afyok?
Yes, you did. Thank you. Sorry, I've been.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Thank you, Gidre. Sorry if I am not pronouncing the name correctly. Still learning it. Thank you for this opportunity. I just wanted to ask if the video, the session is recorded because there are people who can get in and would like the recording of the session.
Yeah, so the Fatty note taker is here. I will share the link with them. I mean, we might even like, let's say, upload the sessions that we do on like YouTube. One, to people just come back and to really see and refer if they need to. Two, for basically if people, let's say, haven't been part of this, to really just catch up. Because I was thinking like, what do I do? Do I just intake you guys and just cut off the project? But technically how project management works, people might join your project at a later date. So I was like, and then it's kind of up to you to catch them up to speed. So I was thinking, do we allow people to join at different phases and then it's like a real project, right? Because essentially not the entire team is at the beginning of the project.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
No, thank you. And actually, you said my name really well. Well done. Yeah, I really like your name. It's really cool. But yeah, all right then. Without further ado, let's get it crackadoo. That was good. I like that. Let's get crackadoo. Yeah, and essentially even with these sessions, so what I'll do is I'll probably see how it goes, and I'm thinking of even utilizing the material. So let's say, you know how today we're going through project life cycles.
Yeah.
When we actually do the so
Okay.
Mike, I'm gonna mute you, Mike. You got like a whole freaking news news TV on. So yeah, even let's say as we're covering project life cycles, because this session is recorded, I'm thinking of utilizing it for the platform and stuff. So it's like we're gathering also material as we go. So then it's like next time, it doesn't have to be a person to walk you through project life cycles. We send you the video, you go watch it, and then it becomes a bit easier on our perspective rather than having to always be there. My main goal is really to create a platform where me, Gerald, or anyone else that wants to join us, you don't have to physically spend time for it to be utilized, because time is precious. Time is just not enough time. So I want to automate a lot of the stuff. So that's another thing that we're going to see, how much material can we get from this session to really basically utilize it for future trainings as well. Yeah, beautiful. All right, then without further ado, let's crack it a do. So project life cycles and business case. So on the agenda today, I thought to show you a few different life cycles. So there's like a basic project management life cycle. There's also like a life cycle. If you don't know what Prince2 is, it's basically one of the qualifications that we have in the industry. Agile Scrum is also another qualification that we have. And then we're going to look a bit of the comparing the life cycles, and then we're going to look at the business case. Essentially, by providing you with the project life cycle, I just want to make you understand how we break those projects down. And then initially with this phase one, we're really going to be talking about the initiation and planning of it. I personally, planning is one of my least favorite parts of project management. So I guess throughout different life cycles, also see what part of it builds your passion. I don't really like it. I don't really like it. I don't really like it. Okay, so basically the basic project life cycle is, so we initiate the project, like, you know, we kick it off. We kick off why it's needed. We justify why we're going to be spending the money and what we want to spend it on. Then we go into planning. So everything that we initiated and we wanted to achieve, what is the plan to achieve this? What milestones do we have? What activities are needed for us to get the end goal? Execution is basically when you go and do the work from the planning, you execute it, you know, you're delivering it. Monitoring and controlling essentially is another life cycle of the projects, and essentially throughout this should actually be throughout all of the phases really, but essentially the monitoring and controlling is once it started executing, someone just basically needs to kind of overlook it to make sure how's it going, is it going well, put controls in place, whether it's for risk management, whether it's, you know, for escalations, to really make the project management life easier. And the last stage of the basic project lifecycle, what we have is the closure. So we finish off the project, you send they are called project, it's just different things that people call it, like there's project closure documents. Right now we have PARs, project intervention reviews. I don't even know, but different names for different closure. And in there, you basically want to close off the project, say what have you achieved, and you really want to provide your lessons learned. Lessons learned, like I said earlier, is what went well in the project, what didn't go well. Only thing that I am a bit of like a rebel, I don't believe in doing your lessons learned right at the end of the project, because one, we forget those. Two, a lesson today, the importance of it will not be important in a week, because I automatically just think of it less. So I encourage lessons learned basically from the first day of your project. If you don't have lessons learned in your project, just note it down for yourself anyway, and it will always be useful. So this is like the basic project management life cycle. Do you guys have any questions on it?
No, no questions at all.
No? I guess, do you understand the difference between all the phases? And like I said, what it was utilized for?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do.
Yeah. Lovely. I'm glad to hear. I'm also going to be taking people's silence as a approval that you understand it. And I don't always feel free to ask questions, even in your career, even here. Ask questions, clarify everything that you want to achieve, because essentially it makes it easier. Even in your interviews, sometimes if you're not sure what a question is, clarify it. It's better to clarify things than go off and do the wrong thing and then mess up big thing. So learn how to clarify things. So just from, I guess, expectations management, if you don't ask me questions, I'm going to assume that you know. So I wouldn't want you in a month to come back and be like, oh, I just don't know the difference between initiation and planning, because this is the day you should have asked me about the difference, you know? Like, don't tell me 6 months in. So does anyone have any questions?
Sorry, can I use my medicine? Yes.
Are you guys asking questions, or you just got background noise in? You sound really, it sounds like background noise. Mike?
Yeah, I'm on that background news.
You're on background noise. Okay, cool. Anyone else? No questions? Beautiful. Let's get cracking then. So this was the basic project management lifecycle. Now we will look into the Prince2 lifecycle. Essentially, it's a waterfall methodology. With waterfall methodologies, you do each of the stages one after another. So you would accept, basically, you wouldn't be, let's say, managing product delivery if you're still at initiation. So that's the difference with Prince2 and, let's say, a few of the other ones. And if you think about waterfall, it's like you see how waterfall falls and everything has to achieve. That's how Prince2 is as well. Another analogy I like to use is like cake analogy. So essentially with Prince2, we do the first layer, then the jam, then the cream, then the second layer of cake, then the jam, then the cream, then the third layer, jam, cream, and a little cherry on top. So we do all of the cakes, and then we'll do the cake analogy for the Agile one to hopefully make you realize the difference. The lifecycle stages that are called in Prince2 are basically these. So we start with starting up a project. And essentially, you just really want to, start setting up the project and everything that it wants to achieve. Is there a need for a project? Before any of these actually as well comes a basic, it could be a charter, it could be a project management charter, it could be a project mandate. And essentially, the business will basically say, like, there's a need to achieve this, and then you go and plan the project. Like, we usually don't plan just projects out of thin air. There's some approval from somewhere. It's either approval, or it's either approvals, or it's either somewhere. So the actual project starts with a project mandate, project charter, whatever you want to call it, and then you basically take that project charter and you go and start initiating these projects and starting up the projects. So that is basically the first stage, and usually it comes from top above, and they'll basically say, like, I know I got a strategy, I want to achieve this. You basically take it and you go and start up the project. So then, yeah, starting up the project. So basically, if there's the need for the project, initiation as well, sort of starting the project initiation documentation, doing the business case, how many resources will you need, just sort of seeing what will be needed to really to start this project. You do a bit of the planning, directing the project as well. Basically, these are like the senior stakeholders that will be allowing you to actually, let me quickly double check the difference. I don't want to give you guys the wrong thing. Directing the project, let me quickly check, because I'm not sure if I'm mixing up directing the project with controlling a stage. So I just want to quickly check the difference between I don't want to say the wrong thing. So just 2 seconds. Okay, yes, I was right. So the purpose of directing the project process is to enable the project board to be accountable for the project by making key decisions. So throughout all of these project phases, directing the project, the senior stakeholders kind of come and see how you're doing with the project. It allows them to get reports to continue making key decisions. Maybe the project should get put on hold. Maybe maybe you're having problems, you know? So that's where directing the project comes in. Controlling a stage. Let's quickly clarify that as well. So controlling the stage is the process where project manager ensures that a specific stage of a project stays within the defined tolerances set by the project board. So essentially your tolerances that are set by in the directing the project by the project board will be the tolerance for your budget, the tolerance for time. It could also be the tolerance for quality. How good should your quality be? And the last one would be tolerance for risks. So how big is risk appetite in the organization? That's basically what happens in controlling the stage. And then managing product delivery, you know, when you go and actually manage the delivery of it, and closing the project again, you basically just close the project and everything like that. Sorry guys, give me 2 seconds, but let me know if you've got any questions. Do you guys have any questions on the Prince2 lifecycle? And maybe I'll set up, because even these that I'm doing, it's not the proper definition. So maybe afterwards what I can do is send out the proper definitions just to make you sort of understand. But yeah, again, the way Prince2 is, so you'll do this first, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this. You don't go and sort of skip them through out. Let me know
Good
if you've got
morning.
any questions.
I have got a quick question. See, I'm looking to get certified, and I have looked at Prince2 and the Agile Scrum. So the difference between the two is that the Agile is more adaptable, whereas Prince2 is more rigid and kind of there is a structure. So I just want to know as to which one should I consider. You might come back to me by saying what sort of industry do you want to go into. So if you can perhaps cover that at some point, or if not today.
Yeah, I guess just to quickly answer that, what is the reason for you wanting this qualification? Why are you gonna do it?
It's not necessarily the qualification, it's just to understand the principles of each method. Particularly the adaptable one, where it's certainly for the past 3-4 months I've been reading about project management and beginning to understand and learn. And I feel that the Agile method, it's probably more suited to my personality. Sorry.
So this is what I say people about qualifications, right? Annoyingly, I got my Prince2 and my Agile PM. No one uses. I got my Prince2 in 2018. 7 years later, not a single organization I have used it in the way it should be used. So that's the frustrating part. So I'd say if you just want to expand your awareness, then yeah, go for qualifications. But I don't think they're necessary. I think what would be more useful for you is to be aware of how the different qualifications work. I think qualifications is like a nice cherry on top. I think once you get some experience, it's like a nice way to build your knowledge. So if you're at the start of your career, I don't know what, everyone just keeps messaging me like, someone said, if I get Prince2, I'm going to get a job. The qualification will not give you a job. People will hire you without a qualification and transferable skills, but people will not hire you for without transferable skills if you have qualifications, if that makes sense. Like that qualification won't be enough to get you hired. So if your one is, you really want to know what works in practicality the best, from research and speaking to people in the community, I don't know if you guys have heard of APM. They have a qualification, PFQ, I believe, Project Fundamentals qualification.
Yes, that's the most recent one I actually came across. In fact, last week That's also quite interesting.
And I feel like the stuff that they're teaching, and I'm a bit biased. I do a lot of stuff. Like, that's another thing. If you want to be in the project management industry, sign up to APM, go to their events, go to there, meet the project management professionals, because essentially, they're like the big boys of project management. So I'm a bit biased because like I love APM, but they do generally, their qualification basically provides you with knowledge that you could really utilize for sorry, I'm just getting the door, for project management. So I would say if anyone's getting a qualification.
How are you?
Hi, boss.
You
I'm
okay,
good,
madam?
thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Thank you so much. Oh,
Have a nice
thank
day.
you. How are you?
Take care,
Take
lovely.
care. Take care.
Bye.
Because I work in Royal Mail now. Anytime they come to deliver my parcels, I'm like, my people. But I don't weed them out. I stopped telling them that I also work for Royal Mail. So yeah, if you go for qualification, I would personally go for APM, but just make yourself aware. So I don't have my Agile Scrum, but I've done Agile Scrum before, and I even have it on my CV, and I can talk about it, I can articulate how it works. So that's my advice. You got loads of money, yeah, go ahead. But I am actually doing a workshop. I'm doing a workshop on the 6th of September and the 27th of September, one-day intensive, where I'm going to cover the few different methodologies in details, and we're going to cover how to get into project management, how your CV should look like, how you should structure your interviews, how do you find roles, how do you also bring attention to the recruiters, because people get just spammed by like hundreds of emails. So I would say if you're investing money, invest it in something like that, where you can basically come and really get all the tips and tricks how to get the role, rather the qualifications. Just really, they kind of just, it's theory. That's another thing. That's why we started this, because we want you to see how it works in real life. So hopefully that answered your question. But yeah, I personally wouldn't be paying for qualifications unless you got extra money. Just go ahead.
So I have a question. So I have a few people that I know in project management quite close to me, and because I put in the chat before when we were talking about Prince2, that isn't APM better, because that's what I've been told. Like, if you're gonna get anything, it's just better to get that one. They say Prince2 is it kind of limits you to construction, things that are more like start to finish, whereas Agile is more for tech. But APM, it kind of gets you into anything. And then the whole thing of not having qualifications, they said that generally they don't look obviously like solely for that, and it's not the most important. But with you not like with people that do not have like any experience in project management, it's like from experience, it's proven difficult even with transferable skills to even getting into the interview stage. Like, I think I've done over probably 100 applications for it, and I have transferable skills. Like, I'm a digital marketing account manager. I have to do stakeholder meetings, I do planning from account start to finish. Like, I feel like I've done I can give the most out of what I'm already currently doing, and it's still not enough. So I feel like getting the qualification is kind of like, this is it. Like, I have no other way to do it, if you understand what I mean.
Okay, yeah, don't feel like that, because if your CV is not passing, let's say ATS scans, or if it's not reaching recruiters now, having Prince2 in there ain't gonna change that. It's gonna be the same. It basically really means, so essentially, I don't know if anyone was on the earlier session that we do with Project Takeover. There's blockers in your career, and it looks like your current blocker is your CV is not showcasing the value, or you don't know how to get it in front of the right people. So with your transferable skills, like you said, for a project management entry position, you definitely could get into. So I think for you personally, it just sounds like that's your blocker. You need to know how to really showcase your value. People speak about job descriptions, like no one really cares. Let's say even about stakeholder engagement. What did that achieve? Did your stakeholder engagement improve the efficiency by 100%? Did it improve problem solving by 95%? You know, it's like the key achievements. So that's what it sounds like. And then, to be fair, everyone that comes to me for coaching and stuff, or like to the workshop, everyone's like, I've done everything that I could. turns out we haven't done everything that we could. And, you know, it's hard when you're not in the industry. But now that I've learned the strategy, like even someone, she was giving up. She basically was like, gee, I've been applying for like 2 years. I haven't got a job. I'm going to go do my project management master's. It's going to get me a job. And that's it. And I was like, what? Are you crazy? My project management masters, they didn't care about. And that's one thing. If they didn't care about my project management masters, they will not care about no Prince2. Project management masters is wow compared to Prince2. So if my project management masters wasn't enough for them to just say, oh, let's take her, Prince2, forget it. So it's more just knowing how to showcase your value. So I do think you would really benefit from coming to the 1-day intensive because you already have the loads of transferable skills. It's just knowing how to articulate it, or maybe if your CV is articulated correctly, you don't know how to find roles. In the earlier session, like people were just saying like they can't find roles, and I just logged in on LinkedIn to just showcase there is tips and tricks how to find roles. So don't feel like that Prince2 is going to get you a job. If your CV is not getting seen right now, having Prince2 as an addition somewhere is not going to change much.
And I agree, because a lot of them are saying, like I did 2 interviews, and a lot of them were saying it's more like experience and stuff, which it's in any job. Like my job, it was entry level, and they wanted me to have a year experience. Thank God I did, but it's kind of like, if it's entry level, like why do you want me to have experience and you don't want me to have a degree? Like, where am I going to get it? So I do get, and I get that the market right now is like tough, like worse than what it's ever been. So I do understand like those things all do come into play, but it's like I see things on LinkedIn all the time. Like I go every day, I apply every day, and I think the 2 interviews I got, obviously some were denied. When I put AMPQ on there, that's why I got them, because every other one I didn't, apart from some others, I didn't even get to interview stage. They were just like a straight no. But when I changed it and I put, you know what, let me just see, I got to that point. It's kind of like, do you want me to have it? Do you not? Because the thing is, I don't mind paying for it. Like, I don't mind sacrificing money for a short term to get a better salary in the long term. Like, it's really not that serious. But it's also frustrating because it's like, you want me to have this experience. You talk to me about transferable skills. I've got them. Like, what more?
Yeah.
Like, before I actually before I get the title and say that I've been in the industry for a year, like what do you want from me? Yeah.
So like honestly, I get your frustration. It's like do you want me to just sit here and clean your feet, like rub your feet? Like, do you want me to rub your feet? Like, what can I do? So it just really sounds like you're not able to, let's say, I think you're just not really able to. Basically, the way I even told people earlier is your confidence is another big blocker. If you think you don't have the right experience just because you haven't had the role, why would a recruiter think you did? So that's another thing that we also focus really heavily on the workshops. How do we grow your confidence? So actually, when you go into the room, people are not saying, oh, you haven't done this role. It's like, well, actually, no, I have done this just in this role, you know, to really, you have to believe it deep down. So drop me a message. Anyone else that is sort of struggling with stuff like that, drop me a message. We can have like a one-to-one catch up. I do highly recommend, if you guys are at a stage where you would rather pay for qualification, come and get our 1-day intensive course. And you basically will see where your blockers are. And I promise you that the other day I done a 2-hour session with someone. Literally the next day she came back to me and she said the recruiter has called them. It happens all the time. Someone else came back after the workshop. I think like we had a catch up like a weekend. She said just by even updating certain things on her CV, and because I told her where to upload it and stuff, recruiters started messaging her. I should even need to message the recruiters. So there's a lot of tips and tricks. The market is disgusting, but there is a lot that you can still do. So yeah, definitely drop me a message. It just looks like there's a blocker, and your blocker is either you're not showcasing it well enough in your CV, or you just don't know how to get that CV in front of the people. It is interesting to hear that, you know, let's say you did put the AMG and obviously heard back. So I wonder, was it the AMG or was you able to reach the recruiter better, you know? So I really wonder, because then technically AMG isn't really like a big requirement either, you know. So I feel like qualifications are like a nice cherry on top, but it's not a requirement. And if you think getting a qualification will get you a job, that's why I asked was it Mizan earlier? That's why I asked him why he wants it, because if you think this qualification will get you hired, the qualification will not get you hired. It just will not. It just will not. You just have more theory. If you're at the stage where you want to go and like, learn more about different stages of project management and explore your life in different things, yeah, definitely do the qualifications. I do not believe it's needed. Out of everyone that I've gotten a job in project management, majority of them did not have qualifications, and you just don't need it. Like I said, I got my Prince2 in 2018. Till this day, I haven't used it. However, it was a big selling point for my interview that time because I had nothing to really go with. But then if you're aware how it works, you don't have to have Prince2 to mention Prince2 in your CV if you're aware how it works. I don't have my Agile Scrum, but because I've done it before, it's in my CV. Hey, Gabriel. We'll do one more question and we'll sort of do it because I really want to focus these sessions on more, let's say, the work experience and, going through project management and stuff. The recruitment side is more, let's say, under project or takeover community sessions. I would highly recommend everyone who is really struggling to come to the one day workshop that I'm doing, and I really think it will change your life. Like, I don't think it will change your life. I know it will change your life. It's just really figure out your blockers, just figure out what is your stopper. So my one was actually last year. My CV, I met up with recruiters, I got the template and uploaded it, cracked it down. I found tricks how to find recruiters, like secret roles, get them before anyone else. I also found ways how to find recruiter details. So it's like I was able to get in touch with them. That's the main thing now as well. You can't just apply and you think you're going to get a job. The market has changed so much. AI bots are like freaking spamming all these recruiters and stuff. You need to know how to reach them. You need to know how to basically make them look at your CV, and you need to make sure that they realize the value that you bring. That's another blocker. So I was doing all of these and I was getting loads of interviews, but I wasn't getting a job. So my blocker was actually in my interviews, I wasn't able to showcase my value. I was waffling, my confidence wasn't there. When you guys get to know me, you'll see I'm like the least serious person on earth, and people in my mock interview was like, gee, you're too serious. And I was like, what? But it's true because interviews make you like, oh, so basically there's a blocker, and my blocker was the interviews. As soon as I got rid of that, I got the role. The other day, like I said, the girls was also struggling for 2 years not getting a job. We fixed her CV. That blocker was gone. Then she actually secured the interviews, but she didn't really do too well in the interviews. And with that, now her blocker is we need to work on her interview skills, So it's like, what blocker? Just knocking them blockers one by one and getting you prepared. But I understand the frustration. I do feel like all of us do feel like we have done a lot of the stuff, but I will say that basically 100% of the people that have said that to me, as soon as I look at their CV, as soon as I look at their job hunting strategy, that's why people are not hearing back. So it's good news. It's good news in the way because there's hope, right?
So
There's
how
good
much is
news.
the workshop?
Pardon?
How much is the workshop, please?
The one day intensive. One day intensive is £98. And we go all day and we crack everything top to bottom, the whole strategy. Yeah, it's £98. We cover CVs, we cover how to find recruiters, we cover how to structure your CV, how to make sure it passes ATS, we cover how do you utilize your LinkedIn and optimize it to make sure recruiters get in touch with you. Or let's say sometimes when you send a job description, they search up your LinkedIn. So it's like, how do we prepare your LinkedIn to be ready for that? How do we structure your interviews? How do you prepare for your interviews? How do you reach recruiters? I show you softwares that actually it allows you to find the recruiter details and stuff like that. There's also different job boards where you can basically upload your CV onto the different things and recruiters and get in touch with you. So that's sort of what we cover in the one day intensive. It is like a lot that happens throughout the day because it's a lot of different areas, but it's been very useful. For the last workshop that I did, I'm really proud, and I kind of was doing it more for entry-level people, but the last workshop had a lot of like people in project management. So for me to basically have enough knowledge to elevate people's project management career when they are already in project management, I know for entry-level positions it's like, because it's easier, isn't it? It's easier to elevate entry level than someone senior. So if I can elevate senior, I know we can do it all. So yeah, drop me a message.
What are the dates? What are the dates for the
Workshops.
Workshop, yeah.
I'm gonna do it on the 6th of September and the 26th, I think. Both Saturdays, or is it 27th? 6th of September and 26th or 27th. The Saturdays all day. And then from that, what I should really be doing is like, putting a course together from it to basically then if people want to do it offline without having the dates, but that's the next date that we gotta do them on. So yeah, drop me a message if you're interested. If anyone's interested, definitely drop me a message just so you know we don't steal the attention from what we wanted to do here. But I will say, if you're at the stage where you'd rather pay for qualification, something like a workshop or coaching will benefit you way more. Trust me on that one. So yeah. So, and that's another thing, like, I don't know who spread this agenda that everyone needs Prince2. People from TikTok message me all the time about Prince2. I might jump off the bridge. If I have to hear about Prince2 again, like, I might jump off the bridge. Prince2 is amazing to learn about, like I said, different sides of project management, but it will not secure your job. Like, that's not your main thing. Prince2 doesn't mean nothing if your CV is bollocks. Prince2 doesn't mean nothing if you don't know how to find recruiters. Prince2 doesn't mean nothing if you don't know how to reach recruiters. Prince2 is nothing if you don't know how to get your CV in the right, in front of the right people, you know? So yeah, if it's for knowledge growth, let's go do it. If it's to secure a job, it's not gonna, it's like a nice cherry on top. If everything else is a mess, it won't help. If I had to choose one, I would definitely do APM because I feel like they're more, they are more basically like beneficial for day-to-day life in project management. Prince2, actually, the way they came around, Prince2 was actually really smart. They were the first project management qualification really like that in UK. So they made a deal with the government. That's how Prince2 got really popular, because essentially in government, if you wanted to manage projects, they made it a rule that you have to do it in a Prince2 way. That's the only reason Prince2 really grew. Not that it was amazing, it's because they were the first ones to really be smart and secure loads of big contracts with the government. That's how actually it grew. And now it's slowly dying off. It's slowly dying off. But I loved it. Prince2 is what made me love project management. That's the first thing we got taught at university. But when I came out in real life and found out they don't use it at all, I was sad. I even came back after to university because I done like a debate thing, and I said, "You guys lied to me. You told me Prince2 works like that." And I feel like that about master's degree. The other day, I outspoke someone. Her student finance was supposed to even send her the money. She cancelled it. She's not doing it no more. Your project management master's degree also is not going to secure your job. If you want to go and learn for the knowledge, yes. If you're doing it to make yourself more employable, forget it. So yeah, sorry, let's go back to the Prince2. See this little Prince2 demon. Anytime it's mentioned, the freaking Narnia that it brings. Where's my mouse? I lost my mouse, guys. Okay, well, let me see if I can click it. Where's my mouse? Oh, I found it. So yeah, that's Prince2 Lifecycle. Any other questions on it? No? Also, I'm not sure if this will work in the community, but Teams kicks you out after an hour. So I'm not sure if it is going to kick us out, or because I did this in that community little channel, if it will keep us. If it does kick us out, basically just rejoin the same link and we'll continue. Yeah. So Agile Scrum Lifecycle now, right? We saw Prince2, which is a waterfall. Agile is basically completely different. Do you guys remember how I said with Prince2, we build the first layer, then the jam, then the custard, then the next layer, blah, 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 till we go. With Agile, you basically build not the whole cake, but a piece of cake. So you build this first layer of the little slice, the second layer, and then once your first slice of the cake is ready, you yam it, you see if it's nice, you test it, did it work well, did it not go well? Should we change anything? Do we continue doing it? And then you continue that with the next piece of cake. So can you see, sorry, who was it, Zian that said, like, it allows you to be more flexible, more tailored, because after each cake slice, you can change the next cake slice. Did you like it? Keep it the same. That's another misconception. People think Agile is all about change. If it works, don't change it, but it allows you to work in iterations. That is the main thing. So waterfall, like, they think about planning the whole project. Agile, we do parts of the project and we test it, we get stakeholder input in it. Personally, I think waterfall it's just a bit of every waterfall project. If you guys look at the statistics, 95% of projects are basically failures, because essentially, you know, we be working on these big projects that are like 5-6 years long. Do you think you can effectively plan in a waterfall way what you're going to be doing for the next 6 years? It's just a bit not realistic. It's just a bit not realistic. So that's sort of the difference. Can you guys see the difference between Agile and Prince2? Hopefully the cake analogy made it a little bit easier. But before I sort of go into the life cycle, let me know if that makes sense, or if you would got any questions about it. Thumbs up. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So, right, in Agile Scrum Lifecycle, it all starts with a product backlog. So essentially in this product backlog, you basically note down everything that you want to achieve in this project. So everything that you want to achieve, you just put it into this project backlog. The project backlog is basically a master document of everything that you want to achieve throughout. Then after the project backlog comes sprint planning. So in this sprint planning, we take the project backlog, product backlog, and we prioritize what will we be focusing on the next 2 to 4 weeks. So you know that cake slice? In the sprint planning, we decide what will our cakes taste like. Is it strawberry? Is it jam? Is it lemon? How are we doing it? That's what happens in sprint planning. So from product backlog, you take certain parts that you'll be focusing on the sprint, and you forget the rest of the product backlog, and you focus on building this cake slice for the next 2 to 4 weeks. And that's basically the sprint execution, 2 to 4 weeks. Essentially, that's what it should be, 2 to 4 weeks. In reality, I've never been on a project that works in sprints in 2 to 4 weeks. So again, a lot of people tailor it. In HSBC, we had it in quarters. So every quarter was a sprint. Somewhere else we had sprints by months. Somewhere else, I think we had sprints by, let's say, milestones. So again, the Agile Scrum manifesto says the correct sprint should be 2 to 4 weeks. However, I've never really been anywhere that does it that way. Again, it's sad. It's sad. They're always doing this to us. Okay, so then during the sprint execution, so your 2 to 4 weeks or whatever how long the sprint is, you have a daily scrum. This daily scrum call, you basically align with your team. What are you doing? What have you done? Have you got any blockers for the day? Again, we call it daily scrum because it should happen daily. At the start of the project, it will probably happen daily, but then the more the project settles down, the more gappy they become. We still call it daily scrum, but it might be once a week, it could be twice a week, it might not be every day. So with these daily scrums, the team aligns. So after this sprint execution, 2 to 4 weeks, we basically do a sprint review. During this sprint review, we basically really review with the stakeholders. We basically get the feedback from your main stakeholders, if they like it, if they want to change anything. You basically present, what did you execute, what did you deliver? So you give that piece of cake slice to the people that wanted to eat it. They eat it, and you review it in the sprint. You get their feedback. And in the sprint retrospective, you basically in the sprint retrospective, you basically reflect on the sprint. What went well, what didn't went well, what should we change, stuff like that. And then you basically move on to the next sprint, and you do it all over again. So you see how with Waterfall and Agile, with Waterfall and Prince2, we had like all parts bit by bit, like to the entire project lifecycle. Whereas in Agile, you do it again and again and again. So you plan it, you execute it, you close it, you retrospect to it, and again and again and again and again. So if Agile, I'll show you a diagram of Agile afterwards, and you'll see Agile is like it's a circle because it's ongoing until you exit right at the end. Whereas Waterfall is like pow, 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 pow. Another thing to also bear in mind is the manifesto says, if you said something you're going to achieve in a sprint, the way Agile is Agile's mindset is, you focus for, let's say, 4 weeks on something, you prioritize it. So is it a must have, a could have, a should have, or people give story points and it's called like what's the most important to you. So you prioritize what you're going to achieve in it. You focus on your must-haves first, so everything that the sprint should achieve, you focus on it first. And then technically, as soon as the sprint is over, everything else that you had a plan to achieve that you did not have a time should go out the bin, because the way Agile works is it does not want you spending time on things that are not important. It basically says you work in this time zone, whatever you achieve. Next, forget that, it's not important. In reality, it doesn't work like that. Also, not a single time have we basically left anything from the sprint. Usually we just carry it to the next sprint. So again, in reality, it works a little bit different. But let's say if you're going for the Agile Scrum exam, it will basically be, you know, whatever you don't achieve in the sprint, that's it, game over. We never need to look at it again. Whereas in reality is actually we carry things over. So does Agile Scrum Lifecycle make sense to y'all now? Let me know. Let me know.
No sense.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Timmy, for the thumbs up. Thank you for the sound. So that's the two different sides. Me, I'm I don't know if you guys know hybrid. So hybrid is the best of all the worlds. Bear in mind, these are just the two main parts of project management methodologies. We have a lot. There's Lean Sigma, MSP. MSP is managing successful programs. Like there's a lot of different things, and I'm a believer
There's another one
of.
called Kanban, is it? Or Kanban,
Pardon?
sorry. Kanban or Kanban? Yeah.
Yeah, Kanban is another agile thing as well. And actually Kanban we end up using it throughout Agile Scrum as well, because Kanban, what it does is basically shows you to do, doing, done. And essentially it's like a nice way to manage tasks. So if people don't want to use like this whole Agile Scrum, I forgot what it is. I don't think Agile Scrum Manifesto, because it's really also weird. There's methodologies, frameworks, and manifestos that we have. So I don't want to use the wrong word. I think Agile Scrum is a framework, whereas Agile is a methodology. Don't hold my words on it, because in case I got it messed up. So maybe we'll do some Googling after just to confirm. So yeah, Agile Kanban is another thing, like a whole separate thing. Essentially it's it's like a board, what you're doing, what you need to do, what you're doing, what you'll be done. Again, a lot of the time in Agile Scrum we utilize that. We also utilize it in Prince2. So see what works for your projects. If it makes sense, do not let anyone tell you that you shouldn't be really doing it in that way. So I'm always the biggest fan of hybrid, because essentially with hybrid, pick everything that works for you and make it the best of both worlds. So the way this is how I like to work in reality projects. The projects I have been on, I haven't really been able to work in this concept, because I just work for big organizations, and I guess the like what type of projects it is, they wouldn't allow it. So with hybrid, what I think you should do is have those few milestones from Prince2 that you do want to initiate the project by this day. You want to start executing the project by this day. Maybe during execution have some set deadlines in place, what you want to achieve. But then to actually achieve all of those, be a bit more agile, allow people to kind of work in sprints, So it's like you still have that control of Prince2, but you allow agility of people to really work in between that. So I'm always a biggest fan of hybrid, and that's my answer for basically into your questions as well. If anyone would ask what methodology would you prefer to use, the first thing you should say is actually, well, one, I need to find out if you already have a methodology in place, because of course you have to adhere to that. Two, if you don't have a methodology in place, or if you're willing for it to be tailored to projects, I prefer a hybrid methodology where I go and pick the best aspects of Agile, Scrum, Prince2, Lean, whatever. And you see with that, you kind of cover your back that you basically know all of them. So that is Agile Scrum. Before we move on, let me know if anyone does have any Agile Scrum questions. There is a new qualification now. Agile and Prince2 are colliding. There's an Agile Prince2 Agile or something like that. So I was like, oh, interesting. PMI is another qualification. PMI is basically like APM. PMI is more for USA. It has actually started going down here, and popularity has grown. APM and now PMI are also. You see, it's all about collaboration in this world. PMI and APM are also now being little buddies, so they are encouraging PMI slowly. But I was working with projects in Nigeria. In Nigeria, they don't care about Prince2, they don't care about Agile. In Nigeria, all they care is about PMI. Why? It's just the country has been made to believe PMI is the best. If anyone that works on your project needs to have PMI. So again, let's say my advice changes from country to country because there is different. I would say if you are in Nigeria, forget all of these and focus on PMI if you are paying for qualification, because that's the most popular qualification there. Oh yeah. So comparing the life cycle, so basic, it's like a linear, simple structure, right? Like a very pow. Prince2, it's process driven and formal governance. Scrum is I can never say it, iterative. So we do it again and again, adaptive and team focused. One thing that I like about Prince2 is Prince2 emphasizes on documentation. Scrum doesn't really emphasize on a lot of documentation, whereas in Prince2, you are required to do way more documentation. And I like that because I come from governance and documentation is crucial. Yeah, and just to give you guys a bit of a feedback, not feedback, overview what I work on. So I'm a senior program PMO, and essentially PMO is a project management officer, and we basically put these standards in place. So we basically see what methodology the organization should use, and then we basically make sure that the project managers are adhering to that methodology chosen, on the processes chosen, or the strategy that we put in place. And that's what I love. And I think that's why me having my project management master's knowledge comes in play now a little bit, because I know what, by the book in theory, what amazing project management looks. As a PMO, I'm basically able to come and fix how project management is used, whereas as a project manager, you basically deliver the project and adhere to those standards. So as PMO, we don't really care too much about delivery. We want to know if you're doing your project in the project management way that is set out in the company, or if they don't have a project management way, we come and implement it. We introduce project management tools and stuff like that. So that's why I love PMO. I just recently introduced a change management procedure, and just to see the benefit of it, and how much more is made easier for reporting and everything like that, has been really amazing. So that's another thing to mind. Sorry, I'm going to take you guys to the thing as well, that there is many different roles, and it's just knowing what your superpower is. I also enjoy getting visibility of loads of different projects and portfolios, which PMO, am I going crazy? Guys, I'm going crazy. There's no one at the door. So yeah, as a PMO, I get visibility of loads of different projects, whereas as a project manager, you will be in sorry, I think I burnt up. Guys, my mom left me to look after food. I burnt it. Oh my god. So you see, this project manager, she needs to start doing project management in real life. So yeah, that's sort of the few differences between the different methodologies, few, I guess, little oversight of the different, not different roles, because we really just spoke about PMO and PM, and that's the different life cycles. I don't think one is better than the other. I think all of them have a place and a time, and I'm a huge believer of let's test what makes it best for us. So I also hate when I come to join a project and they force me to use a certain methodology. I don't like that. But at the end of the day, especially as project managers, if there is something in place, if you don't like, you're just gonna have to go with it. So a lot of the time, you won't be actually having to, let's say, work out how these works. It's just following the procedures and processes in place, really. So I guess, yeah, we wrapped up the methodologies and the life cycles. Are you guys ready to go to the next stage, or you got any little question? Already? Perfect. Okay, so the business case. As I said, to be fair, like I said, of course, they have like a project backlog for Agile as well. A lot of the Agile project managers that I know basically still have a business case. The reason they have a business case is because, well, it basically, the organizations don't want to spend millions and billions of pounds without knowing how it works, what you'll be spending your money in. So the business case is basically created at the project start. It's not the first, as I mentioned earlier, your project mandate will probably be from the business. So there's two ways projects can start. The business might provide you a project mandate and said, we want to achieve this, you go and achieve it. And this is kind of what we're doing with this, right? We're basically giving you a project mandate. We want to have a platform where people come and get project management experience. Now it's up to you to kind of go and work out how it happens. Another way of raising projects is, as you're on this project at the end of the year, what happens is we basically ask all the project managers to submit any projects that they want to do this year. As part of that, you might have come across something different that's not part of the project that you're doing currently, but you're like, no, we need this project. Like, we need this project to achieve this benefit or to achieve this requirement. Or maybe as we're doing research, it just came out that, you know, that's what we need. So there's two different ways. The organization might tell you there's a need for this project, go figure out what you're doing. So you might notice that there's a need for a project and you're going to submit it at the start of the financial year. You're going to submit everything that will come. And basically the projects that get prioritized is if they've got no choice. So these are called like end of life projects. So let's say if they have like a system in place and it expires next year, you've got no choice. You're going to have to basically approve that project. Legal projects also will always go ahead, because essentially if the law is changing, you don't want to be breaking the law. Those projects always get approved. And then we call, basically in banking, we had change the bank and run the bank. So with the run the bank projects, it's basically projects that are required to keep the lights on, they say, you know. So if it was something, let's say, about the offices and about HR, these are called run the bank projects because you need them. Like, you kind of have to do them because, like, this is to keep the bank going. Whereas change the bank, it's like cool little new things, transformations. It's harder to justify and get change the bank projects approved, because essentially, well, they don't want to pay money if they think it's not necessary. So that's sort of the differences. So at the start of the year, you basically say what type of projects we have. PMO and then program and finance basically go and work through, and we basically just chop. We chop. We really have sessions with you and we question you. Why do you want to do this? Where did you get this information from? The numbers are not making sense. The benefits are not making sense, because essentially we really want to know if you go ahead with this project, it's going to give us benefits. So then from our side, we come and scrutinize why you want to do this project. And then we call it a haircut exercise, and throughout it, we basically cut out projects that we will not be spending money on. So that's the first phase, where you kind of speak about your projects. Then you basically see if it makes it to the next stage. If it's basically made through all the stages, you then basically do the business case. So you don't do the business case if there's no, like, you don't do the business case if you think the project might not get approved. Like, by the time you do the business case, like, the project is going ahead, you just need to put it together. But then again, we come back and we question your business case, like, what you're spending that money on. Are you sure you're going to be spending that money? Are you sure you need that many people to deliver the project? Are you sure this is going to bring the benefit? Have you thought about this risk? Well, actually, you told us you're going to be spending 100 million in August, but you cannot spend that until something else is completed in September. So how can you spend it in August if in September that other dependency is not going to be completed? So we basically really go through the business case and just eat you alive. So yeah, you'll be creating this business case, and that's what I would love for you guys to have a stab for this project. The thing about business case is it's basically not set in stone. And like I said, our idea is we want to have a platform where people can come and get work experience for project management. With this business case, you're kind of supposed to have a think of the different options that we could do to basically see which ones we're going to choose, right? So yeah, And business case, you should always refer to it as you keep going, because business case basically shows the justification for the project. In project management, if you are ever in a place where you feel like your project will not deliver anything you said in the business case, stop it. Make people aware. It's better to stop the project, put it on hold, than to deliver a project that delivers nothing what it promised. And I know that sounds silly, but I've done a benefits realization process a few times, but we basically went across the portfolios, and like 5% of the projects, I'll probably deliver like 5% of the projects deliver the benefit that they said they would deliver. It's crazy. So project management, a lot of money is wasted. So if you feel like what you're doing is not making sense anymore, stop it. Stop it. Don't. I think people get really emotionally attached to their projects. Don't get me wrong. Even us as PMOs, sometimes we're supposed to step in and say, oh, this project shouldn't go ahead anymore. It's never nice, but it's better to hold off the project or cancel the project than deliver a project that delivers nothing. Yeah. So we create business cases right at the start of the project. It justifies why the project should basically go ahead. It's used for decision making as well. So, you know, to sort of approve the project and everything. It is also used as a decision making for money as well, for the budgets. So sometimes we might have a budget in mind, but when you go and do your research, actually you might find out that it is way more. So it allows us to make those decisions that to basically say like, all right, we'll spend the money. It should be updated throughout project lifecycle. Not a single project I have been on that it has been, and that is a big problem, and it's probably a big reason why a lot of projects are failing. There's people like benefits managers. So actually right now we have a benefits manager on place, and her job is really to basically the benefits that we put into the business case. One, she helps us to really identify if these the correct benefits. Two, she's tracking the benefits as we go as well. So sometimes you might have like a role where there is an individual tracking these benefits in the business case. And project management benefits are basically what are the benefits that project would bring. So for example, for this project management platform, the benefit is like, you know, we can obviously reach a lot of people and provide them with project management experience. By having a platform, me and Gerald we don't have to be on calls. We can do it. This can be running when we sleep. Another benefit could be if it makes us money, that's a big benefit. In work, basically your biggest benefit is going to be money. It's always money. That's all they care about. It's really frustrating because there's a lot of time we put forward a lot of good projects, especially from PMO side, to improve the project management life, and they really feel like because it's not a monetary value, they do not approve it, but they don't realize if we improve project management long term, you'll save a lot of money. And yeah, it links to KPIs. So what KPIs do we want to achieve? You know, even with this, what KPIs do we want to achieve? Do we want to have one course? Do we want to have two courses? Key KPIs is basically key performance indicators. How well is the project going? So just to think about as well. So let me know if business case is making sense. Let me know if you understand what it does for the business. This is like your project management Bible. It's like your project management Bible, basically. Like it will always come back and refer to this. Well, they should, but like this is the starting point. This is where you get approvals. Hey, Tammy.
Thank you for the platform. I just want to confirm. Can we say the business case and the product backlog are the same thing, kind of?
So,
looking at it, that it's been updated throughout the life cycle.
Good question. Not 100%, but I get what you mean, because essentially product backlog shows everything that you want to achieve, right? So I know what you mean, like, because it's used for our project life cycle. Essentially, project backlog wouldn't really fully have, let's say, stuff like benefits in it. You know, project backlog will have more epics and stories. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention them. When you create an agile, we call something an epic, so it'll be like a milestone. So epic could be if you're building a house, the epic could be a living room, whereas the little stories would be, what do you need to achieve to build that living room in the house? Is it lamps? Is it putting vases? Is it putting carpet? Are you painting it? So that's what sort of the project backlog is. But that's what I mean. A lot of the time, the agile projects will actually have something like a business case, because you can't just wake up and say, someone who did work on an agile project said it was the first time the organization allowed them to do an agile way, and it was really weird because, well, technically they don't have a business case, so they basically said, this is the project kind of backlog we want to achieve, give us all the money. So it becomes really hard for businesses to just be like, yeah, take the money, because you don't talk about the benefits, you don't talk about the risks, you don't talk about the different options. It's like a lot of trust. So yeah, so I get what you kind of mean, but I guess business case is more justification for the project, whereas project backlog is everything that we're achieving in the project. Business case is also very high level. You'll have like few high level milestones. You won't have like everything that you need to achieve. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Perfect, thank you. And then, so this is just sort of the template, right? I might actually have a look, because actually now that I'm looking at it, I feel like I don't fully like it. But first, you'll have an executive summary. So what is it the project wants to achieve? What is the main goal? 2, what is the problem or the opportunity that we are trying to address? Again, sometimes projects can be addressing problems. So right now, sometimes it could be opportunity. Technically, we're addressing a problem and an opportunity with this project. The problem is me and Gerald don't have a platform to send you guys to do your training. That's the biggest problem. Opportunity is to basically create this platform from the business case, right? But again, options considered. So options considered, when you guys are doing your research on it, you might come back and say, yes, first option is to do to get this platform, this software, this application. Second option could be like, actually, guys, forget the software and application. You can just do training like this, record it, put it on YouTube, send out like a PDF with little links. It's much cheaper, less time. And usually that's how your option considered work. Like the first option is like the most expensive, the most shazzle. Second option is like, yeah, it could work, but it's cheaper, but it's not, yeah. And third option will always be do nothing. This is based on Prince2. The third option is always do nothing, because that is actually the case. And a lot of the time when people have brought business cases forward, we actually have said the best option is to actually do nothing at this stage, because it just doesn't make sense for us to take this. So that's the different options and the recommended solution. So from options on number 3, what is it the recommended solution that you recommend for us and why? And 5, what are the expected benefits from the option that you recommended? What are the expected benefits that we could get? One, having a platform, 2, reaching people, to grow their experience. 3, obviously money and stuff, how much it could bring in, how much could it bring us in money, what other benefit, even brand awareness. Me and Gerald are obviously partnering up, but what we really want to do is grow our brand. Project Takeover and Project Futures, and that's also a benefit. And then costs and risks as well. For the costs, actually, this is why we just need Gerald on there, because obviously I want to know the budgets. I want to know how much he's paying the people currently, but I think basically what he's doing, he's paying the people. So yeah, but for the sake of this business case, if you do feel like, if you feel like there's some costs, put it down. Even technically marketing or something is a cost, right? Usually in project management, we have 2 different costs: people costs, outside people costs. So people costs will be everyone that's working on this project to get paid for to achieve this. It could be project managers, it could be testers, it could be scrum masters who basically make sure you use project management the right way. It could be software developers, it could be I said testers already, it could be business analysts, it could be risk analysts, stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, even for this case, have a look. If you want to go crazy and provide us like a mad business case that it does take on 100 resources, do it for the fun of it. Then KPIs and success criteria. So how do we know that we achieve this project, it is achieved? What are the key performance indicators? So of course, having something like a platform is one key performance indicator. Having courses already together, like I said, like let's say recording this session and then to have it as a course to post onto the platform is also a KPI. Have a think, what other KPIs do you think we should focus on to achieving this project? It could even basically be like reaching 2 people and stuff like that, and the success criteria. And 8, the governance. So this is what I love with PMO. This is where my baby is. So governance. How will we governing the projects? What methodology do you recommend for us to use? Do you recommend for us to use any project management tools, which I know we haven't really covered, but we'll go into another maybe session. How will our meeting cadence look like? Are we only having 1 weekly sessions where you can come and report? Are you guys gonna have mini working groups? So with the meeting cadence, like how is it run? How do we manage our risks? Will we be using a standardized risk log? Will you guys be using risks in different teams? Do we have just one main one? That's what the governance is all about. How do we govern the project management of it? What will be in place? So go crazy, go crazy. And the next steps as well. So basically, after this is finished, the next step is, of course, rolling it out, isn't it? The next step is building awareness from it. Or actually, maybe your recommendation for the next step is actually do another. You guys going to basically be our pilots. We want to see what works, what doesn't work. Technically, you're not on the platform. You're creating the platform. So maybe your next step could be actually go and do a pilot now with the platform. You know, do a session there. So have a think. What do you recommend for us? There's no right or wrong answers for this. Have a think. Like I said, if you want to go crazy with it. The main thing is for you to really understand what how it works, why it's done, at what stage is it done. So hopefully now you see business case is basically the first thing that people do on the project. It basically provides what are you doing, why. Oh, and risks as well. Just what are the risks? Some of the risks is the software platform might not work. So another risk is we're relying on you guys actually for work experience to come and help us. If you guys decide, you know what, bun this work experience, I now got a project management job, that's a risk for us, isn't it? Because technically we're losing hands. What are the risks? You know, I don't know if you guys, can you think of any risks? Okay, also, there's 2 now, sorry, see what I mean? I started going deeper. So what a risk is, just so you know, a risk is uncertainty. So you don't know that it's happened, but it might happen, you know? An issue is when it has happened, 100%. I saw someone on LinkedIn say, and he was like, the way I got it explained, I will explain it to you and you guys will never forget. So hopefully the way I also, it's like a going thing. I even forgot his name. I'm going to try and find his name. But he basically said, a risk is when you smell the shit, like the dog shit. Issue is when you step into the dog shit, because now you got an issue, you need to clean it. So just remember that a risk is uncertainty, it might not happen. An issue is here, is happening. So that's that part is as well, basically. And I think this is it. Of course, we basically, what happens is with these business cases, we usually do like a high level one and like a one. Do just like a high level one, because essentially I think a lot of organizations as well, when they say business case, like currently we're doing our business case, but it's given more PID, so project initiation documentation is where you start going into all the detail. Business case should always be high level, but again, no one uses project management how it should be used. It's stressful. So that's the business case template. So from now till next Saturday, I would love for everyone to have a stab at this business case template. As mentioned earlier, I don't know if you guys want to do it individually. I don't know if you guys want me to group you up. I don't know if you guys want to group yourself together. I don't know if you want to pop into the chat. I am doing business case as a team. Who wants to be a part? You let me know. The choice is really yours. If you want me to, let's say, buddy you up, if you don't feel comfortable putting a message, drop me a message. If you want to go and party by yourself, do it. If you guys want to do this as a team and one person does executive summary, one does option considered, the one does expected benefits, we do that a lot in project management as well. We kind of just find the things. If you doing it by yourself and you feel like you can't really think of any risks, another thing what we do in project management is rely on the people around us. So maybe drop into the chat. I'm just struggling to think of any risk. Can anyone think of any risks? You know, so the way you approach it is really up to you. I'm gonna see how it works. I mean, the way it is with this work experience as well, what I don't want you guys to do is just keep joining these sessions, never really take any action and then say you got the work experience. So you're not allowed to say you done work experience unless, I don't know, we'll put like unless you've done like 90% on the templates or something like that. I don't know how we're going to track it, but I do want you guys to really go and take this, put it in place. So then let's say even as you're, if someone's talking to you about project initiation, you kind of want to know, what that means. You can say, actually, in project initiation, one of the most crucial parts is to really do an amazing business case, because, that's what basically you justify the project. That's what you allow the key decision makers to really come and approve the project. You basically consider all the difference for the projects as well. Can you see now, but in business case and the fact that it's part of initiation, it's like you are sounding like a complete different person in interviews. So that's like the main goal, to really make you understand how it works in real life, how it doesn't. Like I said, even in Prince2, how I said, it says always come back to it. In real life, it doesn't happen like that. So it's nice to know what the theory says and how we do it in reality. Any questions?
Please, can you reiterate what the project is all about so that we can think about the risk? Yeah.
Maybe I should even send you guys. I'll put that on my to-do list. Let's do my first little task. I'll put the project mandate together. But just to give an overview is, we want to create a platform. I'm going to put all here, overview.
Could we get this actual PowerPoint as well, or do you not?
Yeah, of course. No, of course I can send it. I shall send it. And that's another thing actually that I was gonna say. Do you guys use Telegram? WhatsApp doesn't keep history. So let's say if you join today, you're not gonna see anything that I posted from yesterday. If we was on Telegram, I could basically have a channel where we post all of these and people can refer throughout it. This MS Teams, actually, we're in this community. I've never used it before. It's a new thing. And it's also got like files and stuff that I could add in. So have a think maybe from this week to next week what your preference would be. That group chat is really just for onboarding. I wanted to get you together. And of course, in the group chat, there's like 70 people. Now on the call, there's like 26 people. What I want to do is filter people who are serious, who are not serious. Like, I don't want numbers just for the sake of tagging along. So this is going to be a bit of a filtering system to see who's on job, who's not on job. So yeah, have a think if you prefer MS Teams or Telegram, or do you want me to have a Google Share Drive? Have a think, where do you think I should keep all of these materials? Because I guess if I keep sending emails, it's WhatsApp as well. Yes, I'll send it today, but then... Sorry, I think you broke up.
Yeah, I just
Google.
I just hate Telegram, but that's a personal preference. I know some people like it to make notes better, because I don't want anyone to like, if more people like Telegram, then, because I do know that some people do prefer it. I just like MS Teams, just because everything's just there on it. I can put it on a drive and I can filter what I actually want out into like a separate time. It's just simpler. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, and it allows you to basically create little chats as well, isn't it? So maybe, and I think someone said Google as well. Google Share Drive is nice, but it's not really, like, you don't really have a place where to communicate. So let's see. Technically, we could do document repository, whatever, in Google Drive and keep MS Teams like as our main contact channel. It also will allow you to get a bit more familiarized with Teams and stuff like that, because we do use Teams, of course, and work a lot. I guess mentally as well, maybe doing it in MS Teams would make it like more project manager feeling. So yeah, thank you for that. If anyone else does have any other, Slack is amazing. It's one of the project management tools that we use, but with the free version it's only like 10 people max, so I want to pay. So yeah, but yes, this community thing, because like, look, like, you haven't even kicked us out of the call. I might have to migrate the other session because it always kicks us out. Look, the community one, it looks like I had. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll start setting it up. I'll also show you how we set it up from the governance perspective. So this is what we're going to do throughout the training. I'm going to basically tell you, yes, as a project manager, what you do, but I'm going to tell you what I do as a PMO from a perspective. So you start understanding the little differences between it. So with a business case, I don't basically have to go and complete the business case. However, I need to question people. Actually, it could be me, it could be the program manager, it could be the business analyst. It depends from project to project. But what I have done in some of the projects is basically provide a template for the business case and actually making sure that you correctly provide all the details. But as a project manager, you go and give me those details. So you see the difference. As a PMO, I give you the template and we question the detail of it and ask you to provide more information on certain things. Or it could be it really depends. And as a project manager, you go and create this, you know. So hopefully you start seeing you different the different roles, how it also works. Yeah. And then yeah, so in terms of the overview of the project, this is what we want to achieve. We want to have a platform where people can come and get project management training, right? We're thinking to do an application or software. Again, if you guys sat down and thought, nah, why you want an application? Do something else. Please put that in your business case. Because I guess that's another thing. Me and Gerald was basically going to create it, then kinda on board, let's say, people like you guys to come and participate. But imagine that's what people do in project management. You create it without speaking to people that are using it. So from your perspective, also think what would be beneficial. So in this expected benefits, can you please put in benefits from our perspective, let's say as the business, what we want to achieve, but also as a user, what are the expected benefits you want? Is it project management knowledge? Is it one-to-one sessions? Is it Q&As? Is it templates? Is it courses? Is it one course? Is it two courses? Is it three courses? You know, what is it that you want this platform to deliver? And hopefully then it gives us better idea, because again, as a creator, it's always different to the user. So please, whatever you find useful, what even today, did you find something useful? Do you think we should have done it in a different way, the way I ran through things? Just scramble your brains, scramble your brains. This is not set in stone. I want you to go crazy, because the crazier the ideas, the bigger ideas will be. So yeah, but the main goal is we want to achieve an educational platform where you come in and you get project management experience. Again, is it gonna be like with fake projects? Is it gonna be you kind of just rewatch this, obviously, and then go and do your own project? Do we provide you with a project option? You know, have a think what would be the most useful. I guess as well, have a think from a perspective right now. Like I said, these sessions are going to be very focused on the project management knowledge and then putting it to experience. But I guess technically, like I said, all that theory doesn't mean nothing if you don't know, if your CV is not in place, if you don't know how to find roles and stuff like that. So also have a think if maybe we should have that, not just work experience, but also the support of how to get that role. So that is the main thing. And to be fair, the info that I have basically given you guys is basically what we get in project management sometimes. They just say, I want this. That's it. So now it's up to you guys to really think. Of course, utilize.
Can I ask to that, would the platform be paid for? Like, would it be paid so as to talk about the risk? That's what I'm asking, if it will be paid for, to avoid expectation or something on the platform.
Yeah. So we are, of course, we're gonna do it. And that's another good thinking point. How do you, when you pay for the platform, do we just keep it free for the basic, and then there's different tiers? So let's say if you pay this amount, you get access for a year. Is it a monthly subscription? Is it a one-off payment? Again, as a user, what would you find useful, you know? The way I wanted to do, I was gonna do a application for project management. I kind of like Duolingo. You know how Duolingo, like with the whole stream thing, it really slurps you in to show up and keep the stream going. I like that aspect. I also like, I don't know what app I was in, like you basically get like 50 points and you choose how you spend those points like across the application. So it's like if you want a different course, you spend it. So that's another thing from the pricing model. What do you think is one of the cooler ways to go? Or do we have the different options, you know? So is it a one-off payment? Is it a monthly payment? Is it you pay for points and you use those points to pick certain things? You know, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And I guess even risk as well, right? Essentially, one of the biggest risks is the material that we're providing you guys. It has to be good. Because if we provide you bad material and you go for an interview, we ruined it. A big risk is we ruin your career. That's a massive risk. Like we don't want people to join this and then you take a step backwards. And that's a risk. If we don't actually speak to you and find out what's needed, or if let's say, because what a lot of coaches do, there's quite a few famous TikTokers now in project management, they basically teach you theory. So when you go into interviews and you just fully talk about theory, you're not going to get their job. So that's also a risk. That how do we balance theory versus practicality but still provide you both sides? That's, you know. So yeah, and I mean, hopefully it's giving you some points. And I guess even just let's say from one session, would you say even just this one session has allowed you to see how project management works in practicality easier for you to grasp it? No? You guys didn't find it useful? You guys didn't find it useful? What? The thumbs up. Thumbs up is not good enough for me. Thank you for all the thumbs ups. Oh, a heart. I'll take a heart. Tammy's laughing at me. To say the joke, Tammy. To say the joke. So, yeah. So let's do this then. I'll send you basically this. I'll maybe even create a little Word document for you to use it. Also, feel free to do your research. If you feel like any of if you feel like there should be another section in the business case from your research that this is not in here, that's what I should have done. I should have tested you guys. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take out one of the sections. I'm gonna tell you which one. And I'm gonna see if you guys notice what I took out for. So you gotta go and do your research what amazing business template looks like, and you come back and say, gee, you took out, I don't know what I'm gonna take out. Oh, I wish there was a way I could take out different things for all of you. Oh, that'd be good. So I'll see. I mean, would you guys prefer me to take it out, or is this just me pushing it? Pushing it. Okay, since it's the first one, I'm not gonna take it out. But the day Gerald, I might basically do throughout this training, I might do a little bit of trick sessions. So it's like even that whole alignment thing, I mentioned it one time, but now I'm not gonna mention it again. I wanna see throughout the week, anyone does set up like a working group and stuff to align with the project team, right? Because essentially on these Saturday weekly sessions, now we'll spend over overview. You send me everything that you have. We kind of go through it, review it. And then the next half, how we go to the next one. I will see what I think it will be the most useful. I guess potentially it might be requirements gathering. So requirements gathering is a big thing of project management. Actually, a lot of business analysts do this, but then we end up just having to do it as project management professionals. We gather the requirements. So you come and gather the requirements from me and Gerald, what we want from the app. You also gather requirements from each other, what you want the app to look like. In requirements gathering, the biggest problem is a lot of people miss a lot of requirements that are required, or they can't like they can't engage the stakeholders. One of the programs that I was on, we went live on April 1st. On March 12th, I kid you not, people woke up to say that their requirement is not in the project. Like 2 weeks before we were supposed to go live, you're coming me now telling me the requirements. Forget it, it will not be there. So in project management, we really want to nail down the requirements gathering, because if you miss a requirement, it might go. Another thing that I do as PMO a lot for the requirements gathering, I have a bird's eye view. So sometimes HR have a certain requirement, finance have a certain requirement, but the requirements that they have are fighting each other, or they're going to make it more difficult. So we come from the overview side to basically see, actually, okay, you have this requirement, you have this requirement, but it doesn't work overall. So that's another thing you need to learn how to do. How do you take all the requirements from all the stakeholders, and you actually, because you won't be able to deliver everything, because these people will want you to give you a unicorn, a house, Rome in a day, and they want you to bring Elon Musk. Like, you're just not going to be able to do all of that in your project. So then it's like, how do you prioritize those requirements? Amazing thing that we do for requirements gathering is the workshops. So essentially we bring all the stakeholders in and we just pow. So maybe we'll basically have you hosting some of those. So that's for next week's agenda. But for this week, do the business case and let's see how it goes. If you do want to come to my workshop, drop me a message. If you do feel like you're at a stage where you're ready to give up on life, and drop me a message, because like I said, everyone's got a blocker. If you've got any questions throughout this, please feel free. Please communicate with each other. And thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really lovely to get to meet some of you guys. It's been really exciting. I really want this to be an amazing, life-changing thing, but at the same time, if you don't participate in it, the benefit will only be as much as you do, right? I will provide you all the templates, all the materials and everything. And I guess, you guys are getting it for free because you're kind of like the pilot team. You're also working on it. But for the future, we obviously want this to make us millionaires. And hopefully make you some millions too, And also for the workshop, I got affiliates. So if you would like to basically get a percentage of the workshop by referring people, let me know and I set you up a link and you take that link and you refer it to people and then basically it counts how many people you have referred and how many people have signed up. From there, you get a cha-ching of the workshop because when I eat, we all eat, you know, the more people, the merrier. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Another thing, I know a few of you guys was on the 10 a.m. session for Project Takeover. If you do want to join the community, if you're not in it already, let me know. I'll send you the link. And fourth thing, Project Futures is also another amazing community. Mr. Gerald is not here, so hopefully we get him to introduce that side because you have seen the amazing things Project Takeover does and everything. So yeah. So without further ado, do you have any questions? Any last remarks? Any thoughts? No? Okay, perfect.
Hey, I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Are we expected to work in groups?
Pardon?
Are we expected to work in groups?
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Essentially, the way in project management is you don't work by yourself. So even with this business case, I'm going to leave it to you guys to decide if you want to work individually or in a group or in a buddy. I do think doing everything together will always be easier. So for this exercise, I'm not going to make groups mandatory. Other exercises we definitely will have to. I kind of want to see how you guys take initiative for it as well, because a big thing in project management is you have to take a lot of initiative. You have to set a lot of things in place. So have a think how you prefer to work, have a think, you know, or like I said, you can even divide it into sections. So I'm going to let you choose and we'll see how it goes. Maybe for this exercise, if I feel like a lot of people haven't completed business case, everything will be group because essentially with a group, it's accountability, isn't it? One person has to kind of change the other person and ask him what they're doing and stuff. So let's try it. The choice is yours. I want to see your proactiveness. If you're feeling shy and you do want a buddy, drop me a message. I'll find you a buddy. Yeah, but I'm really excited and thank you so much for joining me today. Sorry, time flies. We're gonna try definitely keep this for 1 hour every week because I don't want you guys to be here for a long time. So I appreciate that today we overlapped. I will try and be better at time next week. And if you've got any questions throughout the week, let me know and I'll send all the materials in. And also let me know your feedback for this as well. If there's anything you liked, if anything you didn't like, I want to make sure these sessions are the best that they could be for you. So please, please, please definitely drop me down if what you like, what you didn't like, if you want anything changed. I know I'm speaking a lot. I'm a chatty patty. So yeah, perfect. All right, then, my lovelies, have a blessed week, and I'll share all the materials in the chat. Au revoir. Bye.